It's one of the few industries in which you can go in and make PhD or doctor level income without having a PhD or doctor schooling.
What's up, winners? That's me, flying to Phoenix, Arizona, so I can interview this guy, Eric Hundevet. I simply want to find out how to make that PhD money without the PhD.
What's up, winners? Welcome to another episode of Save Me Podcast. Today I'm with Eric Hundevet.
Hundevet, yep.
Eric, nice to meet you.
You too, man. Too happy to be here.
Yeah, so we're in Chandler, Arizona today, winners, and we have an entrepreneur here, IT tech, telling us big IT accounts. So let's go get started. How long have you been in IT?
So I've been working specifically in restaurant tech for the better part of a decade. Yeah.
Nice. If someone wants to start an IT career, what do you recommend they start?
It kind of depends. Like on the sales side, I would say always like going down the SDR route because you're going to be able to build the hard skills, the habits that it takes to be a successful, AE or outside sales rep. If you're looking to go more into like product development or engineering, just getting their foot in the door with any growing startup, I think is a good start.
So to get your foot in that door, does it require any type of education?
On the sales side,
Yeah.
typically, yeah, but not what you would think. So I studied,
Tell us about that.
I was an education major. So I wanted to be a high school history teacher.
Okay. History.
Yeah.
That's my favorite subject, guys.
Yeah. So, you just gotta a lot of times you just gotta check the box that you have a bachelor's, sometimes an associate's. I'm not even sure if our company necessarily requires it, but I think what's more important is that you have that entrepreneurial mindset because you really gotta be the CEO of, your brands or your territory, depending on the company that you're at, right? So you gotta take ownership of it.
See, I'm glad you're saying that because I definitely do have my audience think twice about getting into student loan debt. As millennials, I see the biggest student loan debt out there.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it hurts people become homeowners because
Yeah.
that debt to income ratio is very, very hard.
Yep.
And when it comes to credit products, student loans is one of the ones where the balance actually increases
Yeah.
over time. So a lot of credit products don't do that. So I do recommend people in my audience to think twice about student loans. But it sounds like this is a career that someone could be very successful without necessarily getting into a lot of student loan debt.
100%.
A lot of requirements to get in there, especially on the sales side.
On the sales side, it's one of the few, I think, professions or industries in which you can go in and make PhD or doctor level income without having the PhD or doctor schooling, right?
There you go, guys.
So,
And this is what we do these type of interviews. So you've been doing this for a decade almost, you mentioned.
yeah, I've been in sales for about 10 years.
What is your favorite part about sales and IT?
It's a good question.
Besides being cool.
The easy answer is the money, right? Yeah, that's the easy answer.
Hey, I can't hate on that.
But it's one of those unique jobs where you get to meet new people all the time. I travel quite frequently, which is cool. So you get to see different parts of the country. You interact with different faces. You're not stuck going into a cubicle day after day. There are sales jobs that are like that, right? But if that's not something that's your groove, you can easily find something where you're out meeting and greeting people every day. I think I get a lot of energy from that.
Nice. Yeah, traveling is always a great perk, especially when your company base works.
Yeah,
Right.
100%. Yeah.
What kind of products are in the IT sales? Is it payroll? Is it accounting? What kind of software?
Yeah. So Restaurant 365 is a restaurant specific ERP software. So what that means is that we can handle everything on the back office side. So back office, think inventory, scheduling, employee training. And then we have workforce solutions when it comes to payroll, applicant tracking. But our bread and butter is really on the accounting side. So we're one of the only restaurant specific accounting softwares, right? And what that does is it allows, whether it's a franchisee or franchisor, it allows them to be able to really decrease their headcount on the bookkeeping team. It's like we have automations built in place that make the manual data entry piece of accounting go away.
Wow, that's very awesome. So I'm guessing that saves the business a lot of money.
100%.
Being able to hire an accountant for 6 figures, for example.
Yep,
It's
exactly.
a small business.
Yeah, absolutely.
So some of these franchisees that you work with, I'm assuming a lot of them are mom and pop.
Some are. Yeah.
How many stores do they range from? Like 1 to a dozen, or is it more? What's the
I've
split
got
that you see?
my personal sweet spot's probably in that 50 space, but I've got clients that have one store. I've got clients that have 800.
Wow, 800?
Yeah.
Across different fast food restaurant brands.
Yeah, all across. So, I mean, like our team works with, we have, I think, 60,000 brick and mortar restaurants as Restaurant 365 clients across US and Canada. Um, but yeah, I mean, the franchisee space specifically is unique because you do have like small mom and pop owners that might own like a Subway or a Whataburger or something else, right? But then you have large conglomerates that own thousands of restaurants.
Wow. Yeah, I'm glad we sat down and did this interview here because this is a career that a lot of people don't think about that is possible. I know that facing a lot of careers. If we look at, stores like Montgomery Wards and Sears, they're no longer around. But you're providing a service that's going to be here for a while.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
It doesn't sound like AI can replace you. Um, and I think that makes the future very exciting for a career like this,
Yeah,
where you can make that PhD kind of money without the PhD hours, I'm assuming,
right.
and without the PhD student loan debt.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Awesome.
It's very possible. Yeah.
Cool. What other tips do you recommend for someone that wants to follow in your steps?
Bite the bullet. Just do it. I've got friends that toy around with getting the sales and then they take interviews and then they don't take it because they're afraid of a lot of times what happens with sales is you're going to start out lower than maybe where you are today. Because it's something you really got to build up. You got to build your skills and you got to build the titles. Eat that, crab sandwich for a better term, lack of a better term, right? Like eat it for 1 to 2 years, learn the hard skills that you need, grow some thick skin, and then the rest just falls into place.
Okay. I do appreciate a lot about taking that first step.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that's a lot of what you're saying, taking that first step, right? Just earlier today, I noticed that the majority of millennials by age 30 are already overwhelmed in their life.
Yeah.
So I tweeted today earlier about half your competition is already out the game.
Yep.
All you got to do is take that next step and you already win.
Right.
And it sounds like this is a career where that could be applied too.
100%. Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, the most entry level sales job in most tech industries, right, is going to be called an SDR or BDR, stands for sales development representative. And basically, all you're doing is you're calling all day, trying to set meetings for account executives, right? And there's no other way to say this. It's a crummy job, but it's a really important job because you're going to be able to like build the habits, the thick skin, the resilience that it takes to go in. And it's a very short-term job, right? Most companies, that's their feeder system into the AEs, and that's where life starts to become fun.
You know what? I'm glad you said that because, yeah, sales a lot of times cannot be fun, especially entry-level sales.
Yeah.
It takes some time to build a pipeline. I'm assuming in this industry, it takes some time to build
Absolutely.
a pipeline as well, right? Because you have multiple software services
Yep.
that you're selling out. But from someone who also has a sales background, the promised land is promised.
Yeah.
Right? You just gotta pay your dues, so to speak. Right? It sounds
That's a
like
great way to put it. Yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
reap the benefits and the rewards later on because, as you mentioned, it's only temporary, and you can move up from there. I'm guessing your permissions are bigger, the traveling gets further,
Yep.
etc.
Yeah, it gets more comfortable from a financial standpoint for sure. As you grow, your base salary starts to grow with it. And so yeah, I mean, you always got to put the work in, right? But it's one of the few careers I think that what you put into it is directly related to what comes back.
Okay, you know what? I'm glad you said that because there's very few things in life where you could put in 100%
Yep.
and get 100% back. Luckily, at one point, I was part of a company that I put in 100% and 100% back. It sounds like this industry, or maybe your company specifically, is another one that you can put in 100%
Yeah.
or get 100% back.
Sales is one of those things where if you're an overachiever, you're an overproducer, you're going to reap the benefits of that.
Yeah. So it is something to take a look at, guys, because I think a lot of us have experienced where there's favoritism of politics in the workplace.
Yep.
But when it comes to sales, the work literally speaks for itself. In my personal experience, I could be late, could be late from lunch.
Doesn't matter.
I could order the
If you're putting numbers up, don't matter.
or if your numbers are up,
Yep.
they'll be like, hey, whatever, keep it happy.
Exactly.
That's your experience as well.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you could echo that because I want my audience to see that it's not just what I say. Other people can back up and confirm that these opportunities exist out there. Is your industry or are you hybrid? Is it remote or
Yeah, so I work remote, and then our office is in Irvine, California.
Oh,
but not far from
yeah,
OC.
that's where you got-
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
yep. And then, but yeah, I mean, I work out of my home, and then I'm probably on the road every other weekish.
Okay.
So
Wow. So you're on the road like 50 times a year.
yeah, I mean, like it's not always a full week. For instance, I'm here for a Subway conference, right? And I flew in Sunday, I'll leave Wednesday, and then I'm home all next week. The next week I'm out for 2 or 3 more days. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get your tour so I can tell us more is with more entrepreneurs on here. Any last words you want to tell our audience out there? Again, this channel is about entrepreneurship, small business, getting that money, winning financially.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think if you're financially motivated, you're hungry, you're driven, you're competitive, you entertain a career in sales, man. It's something that I think AI is not going to replace. It might replace certain assets of what we do, but it's never going to replace that face-to-face seller. It just can't replace it.
Yeah, it sounds like in your industry, AI would just make the product sell easier
100%.
because it looks like, or it sounds like we're going in the direction where it will require less training
Yep.
of a small business owner. Hey, this is how you do X, Y, Z.
Yeah. I mean, I use AI every day, right?
It sounds like AI will innovate that and make it just way easier
Exactly.
to go from A to Z. Is
Yeah.
that true?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, but as you mentioned, it can't replace that face-to-face sales.
No.
That human interaction where biologically we do require that. But let me bring up another point here. I think you and me can remember this conversation more today, next week, than the commercial we saw on TV right now.
Probably.
And
Yeah.
that's the importance of face-to-face interactions.
Yep.
When it comes to sales. And I've noticed when it comes to sales, first thing for me, it works with picking up the ladies.
Yeah.
Temporary was that.
Yeah.
So yeah, a whole life is getting to sales. We have a great entrepreneur here, and it's a salesperson who was kind enough to come to the channel and do this video with us, guys. So don't forget to hit the like, hit subscribe, and if he wants to, we'll show the contact details there for you in the description. But Eric, it's been great meeting you, and I appreciate you taking time to talk with my audience.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. It's fun.
All right, winners, don't forget to like, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in.